I helped them out as much as I could volunteering, but it never seemed to make a dent in all of the projects that they needed to have done. Apparently, it was enough though, because 2 months ago, they entrusted everything they owned to us. Now I'm sitting here in the place that's going to be my future, contemplating my life to date. See, when I got back to the States, it was not the same country that I left. Certainly, not the country that I thought I had been fighting all that time for. Corporations and the government have taken over, stripping away everyone's constitutional rights by putting the politicians in office that create the laws that ensure them a life of opulence at the expense of the rest of the citizens. Greed and service to self are now the American ways. The media sings us all a swan song of white noise information that fills our ears with anything but the truth. This is not the country that I sacrificed so much of my life for. This country is broken. The thing is that I have a gift that enables me to separate the truths from the illusions. I've always had it in my head that I could be the one that could fix our broken country. It would also be the hardest thing that I had ever done in my life. Probably why it's always stayed inside my head. Now, however, I think that it's about time for me to start doing everything that I can to save this dying country. Something inside of me has changed. The part of me that believes he can fix the country just met the piece of me that believes that he can do anything. Good news for the home team. Bad news for corporate bigwigs and skeezy politicians. Too bad for Lars too. He forced his way into my life. Now, I'm making him part of the plan. Whether he knows or not, he's going to help me do it. I just have to figure out the Lars factor. As you can tell, I'm not a writer, but that's what editors are for. I'm more about telling the story. Now in actuality, the book is about half written now. Even though I don't know how it ends, technically, I do know that I'm going to end the book at the end of the summer. Let's just say that I truly believe that it will be done by then. Now, of course, if anyone questions me about my book, I am going to say that it is fictional. I will also say that, inherently, every writer includes their experiences, both real and imagined, in any book they write. That's how one creates a story. The facts of the story being true or not matter only to the reader and not the story. Now, what's my life like in real life? Let's just say that it's been a little crazy, one might even say a roller coaster, but I believe that things are going to start getting better very soon. First disclaimer that I need to put out: the illusion is going to tell everyone that I'm not the person that you should be choosing to be a leader. That's just fine with me. I'm, metaphorically speaking, more of a test pilot on this one. I mean, doesn't someone need to be out there believing in and then creating change? Even if I am really bad at it at first, isn't it better than everyone sitting around and waiting for change to happen on its own? Shouldn't someone be brave enough to just keep trying anything? Here's a letter that I wrote to Holly on Thursday. Holly and I have very unique lives and have both had many singularly unique experiences, apart and together. I believe that all that experience has been for a very real purpose that only fate could understand until recently. This email tells the story. Holly, I have to say that I'm still reeling over all that has happened as of late. It's very hard trying to understand why you feel obligated to put yourself and everyone around you through so much turmoil. What in your life makes you believe that bringing fear and anxiety into your life while shutting out those that care about you most is the answer? I know that it's very easy for you to judge right now. You make all the money. You have all the power. Well, that's great, but look at what you do with the money and the power when you have. What you don't understand is that there is a better way to live life, and that's what I'm trying to do. A little tough considering that when I'm trying to build something beautiful and new, the people in my life come along and continuously destroy my dreams because, because they don't believe in what I'm doing. It makes what I'm doing impossible if nobody else is willing to do anything to make it happen. If we are all going to remain content with the scraps that fall from the master's table, knowing that we all could have so much more, since I don't have much more to lose on this deal, I'm going to share with you what I understand to be the truth and how I came about my understanding of the truth. Right around the bad times with Nelson and Christine, March 2008, those were some dark days for me. I didn't like the pain that I was experiencing at the time. I didn't like the premonitions about the future that I was having either. I spent a lot of time on the internet for a couple of months and found some things that I found interesting. The first was on YouTube. A guy was uploading stuff that was obviously written text converted to add the speech in the video. Rose and I originally thought that they were pretty out there, but all of the people said really good things. Always guiding. Always insightful. And most of the time, the messages that I was hearing had some application in my life at the time. You have to understand that there are certain things that my life's experience has shown me. There are realities that most of the people on this planet do not understand to be reality. It's always been very hard watching people running through their meaningless existence as they completely overlook the fact that they could choose to be a part of something much, much greater. See, there's something out there. What you are currently searching for is very real. You just refuse to search for the answers you're looking for in the place where the answers are located. It's hard watching you look for what you want, never letting yourself realize that step one in your search should be opening your eyes. Sorry. Back to my story. So I'm listening to these videos that are very inspirational but a little crazy, and then I hear a video from Sheldon Idol. This guy's video catches my ears cause he says things that guarantee that he's been there, done that, and he knows what's really going on with the world. Slowly, by listening to what this group of people were saying and comparing it to what I learned about things in the military, I figured out that they were the ones that had shit most right. And by most right I mean by what my experiences have taught me are the truth. Now let's make this part very clear. It's not the kind of thing that you can just accept and understand. There are many levels of acceptance of this truth. I have yet to find all of them. Here's what I do know for certain. The human race is living inside of a cocoon of illusion that it has built around itself. Inside of this cocoon, the world is the way we make it. Outside of the cocoon, the world is a much more incredible and complicated thing that we can't even begin to understand right now. The big problem for humanity is that the cocoon is falling apart despite our best efforts of being frightened into subconsciously repairing it. You are currently very familiar with life inside of the cocoon, so let me tell you about what life is like on the outside of the cocoon. In reality, we are one of thousands and thousands of advanced life forms in the galaxy. There's more life in the galaxy than you can possibly imagine. There are more ways to exist and live than you can possibly imagine. You quickly understand the concept of beings that have control over the fourth and fifth dimensions just as easily as we can control where we want to be in 3 dimensions. You want to go somewhere in this world, you can do it. It's easy. You know how. Well, let me tell you that a lot of shit is easy if you know how, and once you've practiced doing it so much that it takes little to no effort to do. It's funny that humanity can so easily accept a concept like God even though they don't have any real grasp of the concept, and yet miss all of the possibilities for levels of existence that are out there between humanity and God. It's fascinating to me when I hear others talking about this perfect life that resonates inside of me, that tells me that it's the truth. Now what we are missing as we cling so desperately to the illusion that is our life inside the cocoon is that inevitably we are going to have to emerge from the cocoon and accept the way that things are. So how are the way things are on the outside of the cocoon? That is a big answer. It's extremely hard to contemplate all possibilities existing, but that's basically it. Thousands and thousands of conscious life forms, all of different levels of thought and existence, all understanding and sharing and nurturing a balance of existence that has evolved the understanding and learning of eons of generations that have come and gone. It's this access to this massive amount of collective data that has been recorded for longer than we can understand that makes us different. The only thing keeping humanity from plugging into that network of existence is that fact that we don't believe we can. Until we emerge from the cocoon, we can't plug into the big network of existence. Until we stop believing in the current bullshit that we know is real, we can't accept what is real. So how would I describe as what's real right now? Currently, humanity stands at the beginning of an event that is so monumental and rare in the grand scheme of the universe that most of the conscious life forms in the galaxy want to witness and participate in it if they can. What the hell could be so important, you ask? Well, it is a very rare occasion when a new race of beings dropping their illusions and emerge from their cocoon with their understanding of their true place in the universe. We also can't understand what I'm saying because humanity hasn't experienced that time yet, but that's what's happening right now. Some of us are struggling to get out of the cocoon right now. Most of us are trying to stay in, but more and more people every day are trying to get out. Eventually, the cocoon will break open and there's nothing anyone can do about it now. It's simply a matter of when. When has to do with free will. What we, as a race, do not understand about ourselves is that we are infinitely capable of anything that we can imagine. In other words, if we truly believe in something, then we create it. Which is why the world is the way it is. We've all come together with our collective believing and creating, and this is what it's looking like. Actually, that's not true. This world has been created by the few that understand and know the truth of things, that keep that information from the rest of humanity so as to gain dominion over them. The change that is coming is that the truth is coming out and people will soon see that they have been lied to. Realizing the truth will help humanity to understand the important things that we should be trying to achieve. We are trying to become aware of who we are and what our part is in life.